T minus 3, 2, 1, ignition.
What you know about this life? Yeah. Just relax, baby, get high. Yeah, you're on your way to the best night ever. No top on it, no top. Out with the stars.
All right. What up, everybody? Here with the Week 9 recap. I have a very special guest in Nick Hill.
What up, pimps? Tom Brady. Andrew, shout out to you, my friend.
All right. So we'll get started. To kick things off, thought we'd play a little game of league trivia. So I got a couple questions prepared for you. For every correct answer, I'll do one shot. For every wrong answer, you'll do a shot. My front-facing camera on my computer doesn't work, so it's going to be honor system. All right, question one: who currently has the best record in the league?
I'm gonna say that's a tough one. Let's go with Connor. A.
You are correct. 8-1, baby. All right, next question: who has the worst record? Really softballed this one in for you.
If I were a betting man, I'm gonna say it's probably Andrew.
Yep, you are correct. All right, next up, who has the lowest points for on the season?
Remind me again.
So points for is like the lowest amount of points they have scored. So basically, like which owner's team has performed the worst as far as
That's
points.
right. I'm gonna say Andrew again. Sorry, man.
It's actually Jacob. And then next lowest is Finley. Andrew actually is in a pretty good spot as far as his team scoring. He just faces the high scorer a lot. All right, next question. Who has the lowest points against?
I'm gonna say Michael.
You are correct. Somehow he always fucking has the lowest. I don't know what.
Nothing has changed.
Over 3 years. That's a pretty big sample size now. All right, next question. Sleeper tracks tracks the top 10 all-time high-scoring weeks by team. So out of the top 10, which owner do you think has the most out of the top 10, I guess?
I'm gonna say Jacob.
It is actually Cam. He's got 3 of the top 10. He's got the number 1 highest scoring week of all time, which just happened to be against Andrew in week 16 of last year's playoffs, when he came back down like 50 points or 60 points or something to beat Andrew.
Sucks to suck, doesn't it, Andrew?
Yeah, he's just got to get good. All right, the last question. What owner holds the record for the most points for during the regular season, but failed to make the playoffs / finish top 4 in the standings? Basically, what do you think is the owner that has had the highest scoring team to not make the playoffs?
And this is over the course of all the seasons, right?
Yep, since 2019.
I'm gonna say Ferguson.
It's actually you.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. 2019. You had the second highest points that year, but you finished 5th.
Sad.
Yep. In last year in 2020, whoops. How the hell do you go back?
Alt left arrow.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's what that.
Damn it. All right, yeah. So in 2020, that would have been second highest as well. And then based off your average per game, you would have been on pace to be second in scoring this year as well. So just to recap what the standings look like in 2019, you finished 5-7, and yet team was absolutely loaded. I also wanted to just recap the hell of a draft that you had.
What a team.
I know. Yeah. 7 of these players that you drafted were keepers this past season. Team's just fucking loaded. It's like,
how did I
crazy.
not win?
Yeah, you finished 5-7. That's the tragedy.
And the Patriots defense was number 5 overall for like the first 8 weeks.
Yeah, dude, it was a crazy team. I don't know how it's possible that you finished 5-7, but all right, now we're gonna go team by team. You can look over their rosters, kind of guess how good they're doing. If you think they're a good team, bad team, if you have any thoughts.
Well, I see Andrew's got a couple of Rams and just the one. Well, as T-Bay says, Rams looking pretty good this year. It's all right. I see Trevor Sylvia. I don't think he's gonna win anytime soon. Record says otherwise at 1-8. But crazier things have happened. Yeah,
so he is 1-8. He's got a minus 250 point differential. He doesn't really have a quarterback too. They all kind of just suck. That position for him has averaged 14 points per game. Also, he is just destined to lose. This breakdown here, I went and calculated week by week all the points scored by your starters at these positions, and then totaled that up and then ranked it amongst all the other teams. So Andrew, decent quarterback, decent running back, really good receiver production, although he just traded DK, and then his tight ends suck. But next up, we got Michael. He just traded for Russ. Russ hasn't played for him yet. What do you think about this team?
Well, I'm seeing, I'm getting flashbacks of my team. Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Tyreek Hill, Patriots defense. Michael must be taking lessons from my old playbook. You're welcome, Michael.
Yeah, it's working out a lot better for him too, because he is 7-2. Good quarterback production. Pretty shitty receivers. He has Calvin Ridley, and I don't know what is going on with him, but he.
Oh, I also had Calvin Ridley. Okay, Michael.
Hey. But yeah, so he doesn't really have a super solid receiver after Tyreek Hill. Also, he's just incredibly lucky, and that has to run out at some point. Like I said, he's got the lowest points against this season. Andrew has the highest. That's a 38 point per game difference. Additionally, all time in the 2.5 years we've been doing this, his points against is this number here, about 4,100. Andrew is up at 4,900, which is an 800 point difference. So at some point things got to even out, I think. Maybe like 10 years down the road, everything will be nice and even. All right, so next up we got your old team, now Finley's team. What do you think of it? He also has Aaron Rodgers, who's on his IR, not pictured.
Okay. I mean, outside of Travis Kelce and Nick Chubb, it's looking less and less like my team. But, it's his team now, and not bad. I mean, Melvin Gordon popped off last week for the Broncos against the Cowboys.
Yeah, he's been solid.
So
so his team is not great, although he's won 2 in a row. You can see tight end is number 1 for him, but receiver is worst in the league, and then quarterback and running back has not been great either. He has few elite players. Kelsey's a tight end 1, but no other top 8 players at any given position. He always starts the wrong guys. He has the highest points left on the bench out of any team. You do hate to see that. He also has the 3rd lowest points against, and yet he's still only 3-6, so that's not ideal either. Next up, we got Jacob. not pictured as Deshaun Watson, who probably is not going to be playing anytime soon.
The new Ben Roethlisberger, of course.
Exactly.
I mean, solid team with Patty Mahomes and Kirk Cousins playing well this year.
Yeah, he actually just traded for Kirk Cousins. That was a big get for him because otherwise you can see his quarterbacks are not great.
Scam Newton.
Yeah.
And Buffalo defense, that's pretty solid.
Yeah. Although his team is not doing too hot. He is 3-6, as you can see his production. 5 positions pretty bad across the board. He's got a couple stars, but Cook's been hurt. Jefferson's been kind of hit or miss. And he's got the worst points for and the worst max points for, so not a great sign. All right, next up we got Cam's team.
See, you still got Alvin Kamara. Nice move, Cam. See, you're loaded up on the Bengals as well. Justin Tucker. I'm surprised Andrew didn't nab him up. I think that's Andrew's favorite player. That's on Tom Brady, of course. But that's a solid team that he's got there.
Yeah. His team is solid. He's won 6 games in a row, actually. He started 0-3. Now he's 6-3. He's got the worst quarterback production in the league. Burrow and Tannehill have been not horrible, but neither of them are super great. But otherwise, his team's really solid. So he's definitely one of the contenders.
Quick side note on Cam's team. I don't know if the camera can pick it up there for visual proof. But when I was still in the league, Cam and I were discussing a trade for Kamara and Nick Chubb. Cam would have gotten Travis Kelce, Kamara, my first round 2020 pick, my second round 2020 pick, and a first round 2021 pick for Zach Ertz, Calvin Ridley, and Nick Chubb. If that's not extortion, I don't know what is.
Oh, that's so bad.
It seems to be working out well for him.
Oh man, yeah, that is insane. Yeah, no, I mean, Kamara basically single-handedly won him that toilet bowl matchup against Andrew, so that is something at least. Yeah. All right, what do you think about T-Base squad?
Well, we just went out with Thomas the other night, and he was telling me that he spent the farm to get Taysom Hill, who didn't even play, and that was all Trevor Siemian. So don't know how his bucks for the waiver wire look for the rest of the year, but Kyler Murray's been pretty good. I know he got hurt a couple weeks ago. Zeke did absolutely nothing last week. Terry McLaurin, I remember having him. A lot of these players I remember. Solid team, but I know T-Bay's I think 3-6 as well. 4-5. I'm sorry, Thomas.
Yep, he is 4-5. Not bad. Like, I mean, yeah, he's got some good players. He's just kind of like, I feel like he's got like some star players that should be doing better. It's pretty much league average in like everything. Points for, max points for, and points against, he's 4th. Also, he's got Herbert, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams, which, you know, can be kind of hit or miss. And then he doesn't really have like an elite receiver. His best receiver is the 15th best receiver on the year, which obviously, you know, that's kind of
Is that Keenan Allen?
Yes. Or no, actually Mike Williams. It's Mike Williams only because Mike Williams had like 4 crazy games and then since it's like kind of sucked. But
gotcha.
Yeah. All right, we got Bobby's team here.
Bobby's team. Well, Dak was also garbage last week. Got a couple Buffalo players. Not bad. But I'm thinking Bobby's not doing too hot. I think he's going to strike out just like he did in Las Vegas.
Yeah, he's 4-5 too. He's super heavily reliant on his quarterback play. His running back room is just a mess. He's like started like Brandon Bolden on the Patriots, who's like their like
Ooh.
4th, yeah, they're like third or 4th string running back. And yeah, he's got the 3rd worst points for and max points for, so he just doesn't.
But 4-5, so he's still in it. So
he's hanging in there. Yeah, he and
Yeah.
T-Bay
still got a shot.
All right, and then save the best for last.
Naturally.
Here's my squad. Yep.
That looks like a championship caliber team. I don't know what else to say at 8-1. You can't really criticize greatness. Am I right?
Yeah. I do have Derrick Henry on my IR. That one was a bummer. But yeah, I am 8-1. I do not suck. As you can see, I got the best everything besides tight end.
But tight ends, I mean, who
Oh
cares?
yeah, who needs them?
Diamond does it.
Yeah, I got 7 guys that are within the top 5 at their respective positions. And I've scored 214 points more than the next highest team. So I'm feeling pretty good with where I am at. This is kind of the standings. So you can see T-Bay and Bobby are both at 4 and 5. And then we got a couple teams at 3 and 6. So it's kind of a tight race for that playoff spot. We have some big matchups this weekend as far as playoff implications. We'll hop over
I will
to sleep in a
say,
sec.
over the top right now, 2 best names I'm looking at is not so happy ending with Jacob, probably in reference to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And I think Booty Hole Troll. I am the Nightman.
Yeah.
Those
No,
are not one of the 2 finalists for best team name. This whole thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought Jacob's team name was fucking hilarious. He changed it like right when all that stuff initially came out, and it's like, oh man, that's just so perfect. And the fact his team is struggling too, it's just like cherry on top, you know.
And I think it's also funny to mention that Andrew has $9 left for his waiver wire, and he definitely
1 and 8.
Yeah, 1 and 8. He's the most help. That is rough, man.
Yeah, it clearly has not been spent well.
Maybe Andrew should take some advice and start trading some players for some waiver money picks. I don't know if that's something that you can do, but
Yeah, you can trade money.
he needs to get some money.
Yeah. And then this is just a breakdown of kind of the whole chart and stuff. But we'll hop over to Sleeper. We can real quick go over last week, and then you can make some predictions on week 10. Really, the only thing I want to talk about last week, for the most part, it was just a bunch of blowouts, but there was an incredible game between Cam and T-Bay that had some pretty big playoff implications. As you can see, Cam only won by 0.46 points. So it came down to the Monday night game. Cam had Deontay Johnson, and T-Bay had the Steelers defense. It looked like T-Bay had it in the bag, but with about 2 minutes left, the Steelers drove down. Deontay Johnson got like a catch or 2 for maybe like 14 yards, brought Cam to within like 2 or 3 points. And then Steelers kicked a field goal. Bears had the ball left with about 40 seconds. And so a defense gets -3 points if the opposing team goes over 400 total yards. And the Bears were at like 380 or something. And they hit like 2 chunk plays to their tight end to go over 400, which dropped T-Bay by 3 points and allowed Cam to get the W. So
less than half a point. You hate to see it.
yeah, and that game was like pretty shitty too in general, but the fact that it like came down to that was pretty awesome. And then the Bears, they didn't even kick a field goal or anything, so they lost. And also made Thomas lose. So
well, and I see Greg the Leg did Thomas no favors that week either. So maybe it's time to let him go, Thomas, and find yourself a better kicker.
Yeah, he actually picked him up specifically for this, or like before this game. So yeah, clearly it
and the Cowboys were so bad that week.
Oh, it was crazy. All right, so yeah, we got some big matchups with some playoff implications. Obviously, the Thursday night game has already happened, so there's some scores in here. Me and Andrew, doesn't mean much. I did just want to point out, Andrew's tight end managed to get 7 targets, not a single reception. I feel like that's got to be like a record, or at least very close to.
Guess he'll be taking his $7 to the waiver wire.
Oh, yeah, he's got to look for a tight end now. He actually traded a 7th round pick to Cam for that tight end last week. So
you hate to see it.
But yeah, Finley plays Jacob. They're both 3 and 6. Michael plays Cam. Big playoff implications there. And then Bobby plays T-Bay. So do you want to make any predictions on how any of these games go?
Well, I think you're going to beat Andrew. Sorry, Andrew. Just with your tight end with nothing. I think Connor's got it in the bag. I think Finn's going to squeeze out a win this week, even though he's slightly less projection. You never know what kind of performance you're going to get from Kirk Cousins. Shame that Nick Chubb is out, but hopefully Melvin Gordon will do something good for you, and Mike Evans will have a big game. But I think Nick's going to squeeze out the win there.
All right, how about this matchup? So they've had a couple guys play. Mark Andrews had a touchdown late, which was huge for Cam. Justin Tucker kind of sucked though, and then 10 points from a kicker. That's not too bad.
Not bad. I think that's tough. Cleveland's playing hot, so I think Michael's defense is going to struggle. Who are they playing? The Patriots. Yeah, Patriots haven't been the same, at least not since I've had them. Sorry, Michael. I think Russ is going to struggle with his first week back. I don't know. I'm sure Michael will pull it out somehow by like less than a point, but I'm going to go with Cam. I think Cam's got it in the bag this week.
That would be huge for playoffs. They could be seeing each other again as the 2 and 3 seed in the playoffs.
Hopefully he gets that tiebreaker because that'll be everything.
All right, last matchup.
Bobby and T-Bay. Well, I feel like it'll kind of depend on how Kyler Murray plays and obviously how Dak Prescott plays. I'm going to say coin flip, but I think T-Bay's probably going to get it this week.
Okay.
Sorry,
yeah. Marquise Brown did not do too well for Bobby, which hurts him.
And at least as of now, he still has someone in on a bye. David Montgomery, another former player of mine.
Yeah.
Doing him real good.
Okay, sweet. You want to make any predictions for any overall winners or losers, or who makes playoffs, who doesn't, anything like that?
Well, I think it's safe to say, Andrew, I think you've got it, man. Four times in a row loser. So that's something to celebrate. Hopefully Michael gets you a bigger toilet trophy. That's well earned. I think those who are going to be in the playoffs, it's going to be a close thing. I think it's going to come down to Cam and Connor in the finals. I think especially with Cam on the heater, and we know you never ever walk away from a heater at 6 and 3 after being 0 and 3. I think Cam he might win out. Connor, obviously your team is just God status, so not in trouble of losing there. So I think everyone else is just kind of fighting for a playoff spot, but I think we all know where Andrew's going to land. So
he's destined.
Although I did hear that the punishments weren't too wild this year, outside of Jacobs getting a nipple piercing.
Oh man, dude, I don't know. Some of them suck. There's like all body waxing. I don't know. I'm just glad I made one. I don't have to stress.
The way Andrew made it seem, they were just all no big deal.
He's just got it's a 6-month process of psyching himself into being okay with losing again. I think that's kind of what's going on. It's like the Stockholm syndrome almost.
That makes sense. And he did mention, if for some reason he landed on the nipple piercing, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I am pretty sure that he said that he'd be willing to do the other 7 punishments so he didn't have to get his nipple pierced.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that for his sake, but I guess we'll see. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. You want any last words for the league?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was great reminiscing about the good old days when I would score the most points and yet somehow still lose. Glad my players are doing Michael pretty well. Unfortunate that it had to be him and not somebody else, but
he's a privileged little bitch, I'd say.
I'd say so too. I think I've said it better myself. But best of luck to everybody, and just get good. Thanks.